Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Kanchanjunga Express, which started from Agartala in Tripura, was traveling to Sialda in Kolkata yesterday when a goods train hit Kanchanjunga Express from behind, and this train crash resulted in the death of 10 people and about 40 injured. Now, according to the initial Railway Board report, the goods train was operating under a defective automatic signaling system, and the goods train was also traveling above the speed limit. So basically, this train crash happened because of a combination of signal failure and a human error. So the biggest question is that how will the accountability be fixed? Could this train mishap been averted had the authorities wanted? We'll try and discuss all of this. Joining me now is Sudhanshu Mani. He is the creator of Vande Bharat. He's a railway expert. Thank you so much for joining, Mr. Mani. We have Samir Purkaister, who's a senior editor from West Bengal. He covers Northeast for the Federal. Thank you so much, Samir, for joining. And I'd like to begin with Mr. Mani. Mr. Mani, many times, last time also, we were there, you were there on our programs when the Balasore accident happened. At that point of time, this anti-collision device, Kavach, was discussed extensively. Now, a year later, again, this kind of a train mishap has happened, and but we are still discussing the same things, that where is Kavach, where is the anti-collision device, and the biggest question is that could this accident have been averted?
Yeah. Right. So, in case of Balasore, if you remember, uh, we had said that Kavach would not have prevented that accident, but had Kavach been provided, the impact would have perhaps been reduced, and maybe casualty would have reduced. In this case, unlike yesterday, today there are two versions. We were going by what Chairman Railway Board had herself said in the press conference, that driver disregarded an automatic signal where he should have stopped for a minute. It was daytime, and then proceeded at restricted speed of 15. He not only did not stop, but he continued at a high speed and was unable to control when he saw another train in the section. Today, there's another story which is going around. So, unless the inquiry report comes out, we can't really do second guess things. But it seems a series of signals in the block section, that means between the two stations, had failed. All of them were defective, so therefore they were red. The station master gave an authority, which I have not seen myself, but I've been hearing because I was busy all day. I could not see that. Station master has given an authority to the driver to proceed against all the signals. Now, this is something which cannot be done in automatic signaling territory. It can only be done when you have decided that it's no longer an automatic signal territory. It is what is called in railway parlance absolute block system, which means between two stations only one train can be permitted.
No,
That
but
means
Mr. Mani, there are reports. Mr. Mani, there are reports that there was a written authority letter which was given to the drivers in the name of TA912. There is a
right,
paper memo, what you call it.
correct. So that's
What
the
is the
that's
meaning
the
of that for the
that
audience
is
to
yeah,
understand?
that is an authority you can give in what is called, as I was telling you, absolute block system. It is
Hmm.
not something you can give in an automatic operation of signal, which is the case in this case. So, knowing that so many signals have gone defective, the station master decides to treat the section like an absolute block system. He can give this kind of authority, which he has given, it seems, which I have not read with my own eyes. So, but he can give it provided the section is totally clear. That means the Kanchanjunga Express has reached the next station or cleared the next station. Then only he can give this authority. If he gives this authority without determining the line clear, that means it is in total violation. Now, this is my preliminary reaction. Once I see that authority and come to know more, I can tell you more. But this is another part of the story which has come up more today. You would have seen reports saying that driver ka dosh nahi tha. It was the station master who has done so. Obviously, if the station master has done it, then driver is generally I would say is not at fault because he has been given an authority to proceed without any speed restriction. So now the driver thinks that the section is devoid of any train, it is empty, and I'll go at my speed, full speed. I have the authority to ignore these signals. So this has added a new dimension to the story. And if this has happened, in case of Kavach, the same authority, this feature may not be there in Kavach now, but when it is rolled out on a wider section, it would come. The same authority which he is given through a paper would perhaps be digitally transmitted to the train, and then Kavach will take over, and this kind of thing again would be prevented. So, to cut a long story short, uh, coming to your question, yes, Kavach is a powerful tool developed in India for the purpose of avoiding such accidents in addition to other benefits like increase in section capacity, increase in reliability, and there are so many other advantages. And the government's avowed aim is that they will not import any such system. They will roll out Kavach all over Indian Railways. A declaration made maybe about 2.5 to 3 years back. If that was so, this should have been followed up with strong action for deployment of Kavach by this time, whereas it has not happened. It is still there only on 1400 kilometers in Hyderabad, in South Central Railway, in Sikandrabad, Hyderabad area. That is the thing which I've been saying in your shows and otherwise, that we need more and more focus from the Ministry of Railways. Funds are not an issue. As I repeatedly kept saying, you cannot hide behind the excuse that money is not available. So money is available. Your focus is required. And once you have the focus and you have the commitment, execution will take place. If you
No,
don't
but
have,
what I fail to understand, Mr. Money, is that why is there a lack of focus? There is a railway minister who's almost a technocrat. You have a prime minister whose entire focus is on digital, on Make in India projects like Kavach. It has been one of his favorite projects. But even then, if that project has not been rolled out, who is to be blamed? Where does the buck stop? At the railway minister or at the prime minister?
so that's a question for others to determine. I'll tell you the fact, and the fact is that you have declared that we are going to go with Kavach. Government has declared, and the government has been seeing these accident cases. It's not a I am totally against comparing data of today's safety with what was there 10 years back, 20 years back. If you really compare the data, it would show that today the safety record is much better. But that's not the point. Point is that you have these tools which are now available, which were not there 20 years back in such a scenario. And in these 20 years, a lot of work has been done by every government. No particular government, I would say, like all line clear, all unmanned level crossings have been manned. So a lot of accidents have reduced because of that. Today, the focus should be using these tools, as I said, Kavach and artificial intelligence, to move towards zero failure. Move towards that. When you make that your aim, it may not become zero, but you can definitely reduce the number of failures. So that focus has not been there. Now, you have asked why that focus is not there. So that's something that I can't answer. I can only say there are many things which the government, in respect of railways, is doing, like stations, trains, new infrastructure, DFC, high speed line, then Jammu and Kashmir line, and so many other schemes and so on. So everything is in focus, perhaps, and that's why the focus is lost on safety. I'm saying that please shift focus to safety, and which would mean shift focus to Kavach. The country, railwaymen, Indian Railway ke log, and the industry can be geared to cover 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers per year. It's no good saying that there is no capacity. Capacity has to be developed by you. So if you do it at the rate of, say, 4,000 kilometers per year, the major busy trunk routes can be covered in 5, 6 years.
Right. All right.
That beginning has to be made. You cannot go on saying that it will take a long time. Of course, you can't say this today, you can't say this 5 years from now. A beginning has to be made. and that should be the focus, is what I've been saying.
All right, now let me go to Samir Purkasta for the latest. Samir, what are the latest developments which you are hearing in this train crash? What is the latest number of death toll, the number of injured, and are you hearing anything from your sources within the railways in West Bengal?
The death toll as of now has increased to 10, and this injured figure is 40 as of now. But some very interesting news is coming, which is yet to be confirmed. But one apparently one television channel has already interviewed the guy who was yesterday declared dead, the assistant loco pilot,
Okay,
ALP,
of the
and
goods train, goods train, you're
yeah,
saying.
railway had declared him dead yesterday, but
Hmm.
apparently he's undergoing treatment in a private hospital. And just now, one Bengali news channel has even interviewed him. So
Okay.
this shows the the level of information with the railways.
Hmm.
So if this is true, then it's a serious lack on the part of the railway, and and serious communication lapse. And here in this case, yesterday's incident also, we see there, you can see lots of communication gaps, like this paper memo was issued to both the driver,
Right.
to to this jump signals, malfunctioning signals. And in this 14 for around 14-kilometer stretch, there were 9 signals were there. And so driver was authorized, both the drivers were authorized to jump this signal, mm, on the condition that their speed limit should not exceed beyond 15 kilometers. But now this raises question as to why the goods train, the goods train driver was over speeding. Were there any communication gap or miscommunication? Whether he was aware that express train was ahead of him, and if it was ahead, how many kilometer ahead of him.
Right.
Similarly, station master, why did he issued back to back memo, whether he followed the mandatory gap. And we are hearing that even the train tracker system at the control room was not functioning properly. So the station master was had no idea as to about the location of the Kanchanjunga Express. So
Okay.
there
I think Money was raising his hand. He wanted to make a point.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Money. Yes.
I know. I have a question. Have you seen that with your eyes where it says 15 kilometers?
are 14 kilometer, this stretch between
No, no,
Rangapani.
no. Where you say that
Today
the they, no, no.
Memo.
CPRO of the Eastern Railway has confirmed it. He has officially admitted that
No, no, it's not a question of admission. The caution order which was given to the driver is going around in the social media. I have not been able to see it. I
no,
don't think it says. Please let me complete. I don't
uh,
think it does say that 9 signals you can cross, but I don't think it says any speed limit. You just said it says 15 kilometers. I don't think so. See, this caution order is issued. Hear me out. This caution order, which the station master has issued, is issued when, as I told you, it is no longer an automatic signal territory. It is absolute block. If you issue
yes.
this and you don't mention any speed, then the driver can go at normal speed. So I don't think that orders, I have not seen it. I don't think it says any
No, but
speed.
I also have read some reports which have said
Yes,
that they have stated a speed limit. Samir,
If
you
yes,
if it
yes.
is so, then
I'm
I would,
coming to
I
you.
mean, if somebody has
See,
seen it, then of course, I have not seen it, so I was wondering if it
okay?
has
yes,
already, if it has already said 15 kilometers, then the first of all, it will be a peculiar kind of a caution order. There is no such caution order. 15-kilometer is already there without any caution order in automatic territory. Driver can stop and go at 15 kilometers. Here, perhaps his purpose was that you don't stop, just go on moving at 15 if he has written 15. So
Right. No,
all these things are not subjective. It's all very laid down. And I think that caution order the station master has issued is perhaps a bit defective, but till I see it with my eyes, I'll stop further. I won't say. And second thing, when you say that station master has no idea of the location of the train, see, the train station master cannot know where the train is. He knows that the train has left my station, and then he'll know when it reaches the next station. Where the train is in between, the station master has no means of knowing unless he dials on the cell phone. So, but he does know whether the station train has reached the next station. In this case, unless he has confirmed and there is a clear rule how he will determine that the train has reached the next station, which he has not done. If the train had reached the next station, this thing would not have happened. So, just to clarify these 2 points.
Right.
Yeah, so 15-kilometer stretch is between Rangapani station and Chatterhat Junction, between which this incident happened, and there are 9 signals in this route. And the CPRO today clarified that TA 912 memo was issued, and the speed limit was this goods train. He alleged that the goods train driver overshot the stipulated speed limit of 15 km per hour. So that is one thing. And there is some unconfirmed sources is saying even the at the control room the train tracker was not functioning properly. So the the control room had no idea about the location of the train. So these are the things we are hearing from the ground, and inquiry has been ordered, and formal investigation will begin tomorrow. And once investigation reports come, we'll get to know more about it. But as in the past incidents we have seen, the railway's first reaction is always to blame on the drivers human error. Even in Balasar incident we had seen that first they had came out with the statement that it was due to human error. Here also yesterday, even before the investigation started, the railways came out with the statement that it was due to human error, and that loco pilot had overshot the signal. And later on, it was found out that the signal system was not at all functioning. So, and even if the loco pilots had, overshot the signal, we had this this lead to a question as to why he had overshot. And so, the pilot associations, they have been repeatedly telling the railway board that to address the shortage of staff, and this railway drivers, the pilots are overworked and overstaffed. Now, as of now, 18,766 posts of assistant loco pilots and assistant drivers and drivers are vacant, which is about 14.7% of the total posts. And railways have sanctioned post of 1,27,000 something of sanctioned post of both drivers and assistant drivers.
Right.
Now, out of that, 18,000 posts are lying vacant, which led to which force drivers to do overtimes, particularly the goods train drivers. And most of the time, because of these long duty hours, they are fatigued.
Right.
So these are some of the issues which need to be addressed. But
Exactly.
railways and the railways are pussyfooting on this for long.
Right. No, but what I want to ask Mr. Mani is that what Samir has just explained, that how there is a shortage of manpower, there is no focus on the safety and on the safety measures. what is really bothering the railway network right now? I mean, it's completely defocused. The priority is not railways at all. The priority is somewhere else, because when railway is such a big lifeline for a normal middle class Indian, and even then, knowing that if the government cannot focus on basic issues like safety, on basic issues like addressing the manpower shortage, what is the railway network doing, and what is the government doing really? Where are the priorities?
Yeah, so as I perhaps as perhaps we talked on your show yesterday, I don't remember clearly, but there are certain categories which includes loco pilot, assistant loco pilot, in which even one vacancy is not good enough. It should be zero vacancy because obviously, if you have shortage, then there is a chance that the existing staff would be overworked and overstressed. So I don't think there is an excuse against that. There are so many other vacancies. I don't even talk about them. But these primary safety category, not all safety categories, should have zero vacancies. Planning should be done, and provisions exist. Planning should be done in a manner that you are able to start recruitment 12 months, 18 months in advance, after assessing the vacancy that would arise after 1 year or 18 months, and start the recruitment process, promotion process according to that. So apparently that is not being done, and as a norm, perhaps the thinking is that 5-10% or even more vacancies is all right. We can do with existing staff. That's not good for safety. So I think that also needs focus. And your question repeatedly is what's happening. I mean, why this lack of focus?
No,
So
because
as I
I
told
see
you,
the entire focus being put on Vande Bharat. So many Vande Bharats are being flagged off, but the entire focus on safety and maintenance of tracks. There was a CAG audit report which I read that there's hardly any maintenance and inspection which is happening of the tracks. What are we going to do with the bullet trains and Vande Bharat high speed trains if the basic things like track maintenance and inspection is not happening?
so perhaps an accident like this is again another wake-up call, and perhaps it would goad them into more meaningful action toward these things. I also say that other things that you do, it's all right. They're also needed. Money is not a problem. You can do that as well, but more focus is required in these areas, and I hope it will happen after this accident.
Right. But this entire focus? Yes, Amir, you wanted to make a point. Then I'll go for the concluding remarks.
Yeah,
Yes.
about about the safety aspects. If you see the budgetary allocation, railways have been allocated 1,78,000 crore towards rail safety since 2014-15. So if this means average annual spending on safety is just rupees 17,801 crore, and you just this thing compare this with the total allocation for the railways in the interim budget, 2.4 lakh crores. So out of that, only a meager portion goes for the safety. Rest are all about the beautifications, decking up railway stations. All this, money are being spent on all these aspects, whereas the safety aspects are being ignored.
No, but Mr. Mani, what I want to ask you is that in 2017 or 18, there was a Railway Suraksha Kosh, which means there was a corpus fund of 1 lakh crore, which was created by the government only for the safety purpose. But that also has not kick-started. What is really happening with that?
No, so as I keep saying, in today's scenario, with the kind of funding that railways are getting, all those funds and all that is meaningless now. You determine that you have to do these safety works, you have to allot that money. Money will come from center. So whether you have that fund or not, enough money is there for you to devote your attention and execution on safety works like installation of kavach, for example, or whatever safety work. There's no dearth of safety upgradation works that you can do to improve safety. So whether that fund was properly utilized or not, it was utilized, perhaps not to the full extent. I don't have the data, but I don't think that is important. What is important is money is available. Now you are not using the money available to you more for safety is the question which you should do. That's more
No, but
important than,
if
yeah,
it is not happening, despite the funds being available, and Mr. Money, if it
yeah.
is not happening, then what would you call? Isn't it a lack of clear political will to focus on the maintenance and the safety?
Well, political as well as bureaucratic, because there are very very senior, experienced railway officers, and their role is to make these allocations. It's not. I mean, politics has directed central government to give you 2.6 lakh crores. How those funds you are going to use is also dependent on so many team of officers which works on it. So they also have to share that blame. But yeah, by and large, political or bureaucratic, whatever, that focus, coming back to the same thing, has to change. And once that message goes, once that allotment is given, once we decide, okay, this year we have to do this much coverage, so much track has to be upgraded, and so on, then railway has fine people, fine staff, fine workers, fine officers. They will rise to the occasion and do that work. All it needs is that focus and commitment at the top level.
No, but if it is not happening, then somehow the accountability has to be fixed. And how is the procedure by which the accountability is fixed is also very flawed, because the fall guy is a poor driver or a loco pilot or some signal, the man standing at the signal. He's always made the fall guy, but the real people who are responsible for these kind of mishaps, they always go scot free. So, how does one change the system of accountability then?
So that is something which plagues the country. It's not railways alone. So when so many accidents have taken place over 60, 70 years, 75 years. Every year there is one accident or the other. Earlier there used to be many more. There used to be massive accidents every year, at least five, six of them. But only two ministers have resigned so far. So that's up to the politician concerned. What's his own moral obligation that he considers is befits his status
The
and all
opposition
that.
again is demanding a resignation of Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav.
Yeah, of course they are demanding, and it has happened earlier also with various governments. So it depends on the particular individual or the stance of the government. In this case, perhaps the stance of the prime minister. But at the same time, there is no culture for serious management accountability, and it's not typical to it's quite typical to your government as it is. You see, you have much serious mishaps, and with civil services officers, they are only transferred. Nobody is ever punished. Very, very seldom. So that entire culture of the country is bereft of any responsibility to that government executives have to actually feel. And once the system demands that they feel, things would improve. But right now, that doesn't exist. That's true.
Right. One last political question to you, Samir, that uh, Nitish Kumar was a railway minister, and when a train tragedy happened, he resigned on the moral grounds. The same Nitish Kumar happens to be, he is an ally of the Modi cabinet. Why can't he put pressure on the Modi government right now? And the
No,
questions are being asked of Nitish Kumar, that he is part of the Modi cabinet, his party is part of the Modi cabinet. Even then, there is no word from Nitish Kumar. He's completely silent on this.
no, see, Nitish, I don't know whether Nitish Kumar, though we tend to make out about the NDA allies. Now that BJP doesn't have the requisite number, allies will will put more pressure on the government, but and they will try to put some check and balance. But if you see the composition of the Modi governments, it's all over. Modi written on it. It's opposition had his alliance partners had any room. He hardly made any concession to them. So I don't know whether Nitish Kumar is actually in the position to make any comment on this rail accident at this juncture. I really doubt
Right.
whether he has that kind of clout within the NDA.
Right. Well, the inquiry has been ordered, so we'll have to wait and watch once the inquiry report comes in, and we'll find out what was the real reason. And the biggest question, will the accountability be held in the real terms? Thank you so much, Mr. Mani Samir. It was wonderful having you on the program. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this discussion, subscribe to our channel, send us your feedback, and stay tuned to the Federal. Thank you.